Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we will be looking at the John George case, and we have a lot to cover. This includes messages between Madison and Dan McMeekin. Also, a suspect in the murder case has been helping John's family out and is not a suspect anymore. And has something happened to Madison? Because no one has heard from her for days, and a woman's body was found in a caravan that had been set on fire. What we are going to look at first is someone called Kyle Young. And if you remember the post that Billy George put out, he said that Kyle was a suspect in the murder case. But since then, John's family have said that Kyle isn't a suspect anymore and has been helping the family out with information. So I have no idea who Kyle is because I haven't seen any pictures of him anywhere, but he has been communicating with the family. So this would suggest that he isn't involved in the murder, but has valuable information about what happened. For him not to be a suspect anymore, you would think that he has information that proves he wasn't involved, but he might know what actually happened. So we will have to wait and see. At this point, the remaining suspects are Michael Maley, Johnny Smith, Madison Allen, Don Smith, and Dan McMeekin. Now, let's take a look at some messages between Madison Allen and Dan McMeekin. These messages are interesting because Dan posted on Facebook that Madison and Johnny were the people who were responsible for the murder of John George. You can see here that he says, Johnny Smith was responsible for what happened, and Madison saw it happen. So we have Dan blaming Madison and Johnny, but let's see what they had to say to each other. Dan starts by asking how Johnny is, and Madison replies by saying that the police haven't been in contact with him, but his solicitor has. In the next message, you can see that Dan asks for Johnny's number, and Madison says that he's got a new one and that Johnny's mom has gave both of their numbers to the police. So this confirms that Johnny got rid of his phone and got a new number. If he wasn't guilty, then there would be no reason to do that. After Dan asks Madison to get Johnny to ring him, she says that Johnny doesn't want to speak to anyone and that he's not good. Madison also says that the family need to question Michael more. So if Madison knows Johnny doesn't want to speak to anyone and that he's not in a good way, surely Madison is the only person who is in contact with him, or she is staying with him. We have seen in the last video that Johnny could definitely be the main suspect now, and there are many people saying that Johnny and Madison are wanted. But now, they have both gone silent. The next messages show Madison saying that she is waiting for Johnny's mom to send her money so she can rent a car. I know Johnny's mom, who is Don Smith, took a flight to Alicante to try and help them straight away. So John George's family have basically said she is an accomplice in the murder because she knows what happened and is trying to protect Johnny. This proves that Dawn is helping Madison out as well, and she definitely knows what happened. I wouldn't be surprised if she was arrested along with Johnny and Madison. In the last message that we are going to look at, you can see that Dan is trying to get hold of Madison, but she is ignoring him. Dan speaks about Facebook and says that whatever was said is lies. Maybe he should check his own account then, because it was him who actually said Madison and Johnny were responsible for what happened. This is probably why Madison isn't responding to his messages. So, I don't get it. Was Dan's Facebook hacked, or did he write those posts to take the suspicion off himself and put it onto Johnny and Madison? You can see that he said whatever was said on Facebook is just lies, but Madison clearly isn't believing him, which is why she is ignoring his messages and phone calls. This is all one big mess, and with people blaming each other, I believe we will get the truth in the end. That's if the Spanish police do their job properly. No matter what anyone was involved in, there was a murder, and it needs to be solved. So the last thing we are going to be taking a look at is a video from Haley Comet, and she talks about the possibility of something happening to Madison.
Hi guys, so I'm making this video with some information that may not even be related to the case, but something has happened just 5 hours away from Alicante, which is so concerning, especially when no one knows where 19-year-old Madison is, or her boyfriend, Johnny Smith. And tonight, we find out that just 5 hours away from Alicante, a woman's burnt out body has been found in a caravan, and there's also been shell casings found at the scene. So as we see, a body of a woman is found inside a torched caravan in southern Spain. So I've literally Google mapped Alicante and the area where this has happened, and it's about 5 hours drive away. Although we know they're on the run and she perhaps can't get out of Spain any other way but to hide further down the coast. So this could be a possibility. So as you can see here, it's just straight down from Alicante, about 5 hours, 59 minutes. As it says here, unfortunately, the caravan was completely burnt by the time they arrived, and the woman's body was later found by firefighters. From the start, authorities have discounted any theories the blaze was an accident. According to Fernandez, it's clear it was an act of aggression. Bullet casings and fuel traces were also found at the scene, reinforcing the theory of arson. Witnesses also say they saw various people running from the scene just after the fire began. Now, like I said, this is purely speculation, and it is because obviously we're dealing with people who are capable of the worst possible murder in order to take people's life. And when we find out the 19-year-old girl is missing, along with her 27-year-old boyfriend, and we know that this is a caravan park somewhere people are likely to hide out, it's concerning. So anyway, if anyone has any more information, or if I hear that a victim is named, etc., but I just think that the Civil Guard need to be doing more to find these people, because Johnny Smith is obviously a very dangerous guy, and we have other people in this case who probably haven't taken the life of John George but have a lot of information, have been speaking too much, putting out too many statements, and they will now become a risk. Their life will be at risk.
So there is obviously a very big chance that this incident isn't related to the case at all, and if it is related to the case, then this has just got even worse. But watching this video made me realize that since everyone is blaming each other and there is some very dangerous people involved, this case could turn violent very easily. Michael knows people who are very dangerous, and Madison mentions in one of her phone calls to John's family about Moroccan people who will take your head off for no reason. Johnny is the main suspect in this case, which means that he is also classed as a very dangerous person, and no one knows where Madison or Johnny is. We can see that Madison has been talking the most and has actually admitted that Johnny Smith offered to take the firearm off Michael and clean it. Even if that's not true because it is known that Madison lies, it still means that she's implicated Johnny and has admitted that he played a role in this case, or at least tried to anyway. So if Madison is on the run with Johnny, this could turn nasty, and we have seen the arguments between them. Johnny doesn't sound like a nice person. Madison is the youngest person involved in this case. She's only 19, so you don't know if Johnny is using her to get away with this, and if she's even safe, since no one has heard from her at all. This post here is from someone who is very close to John George's family, and he has said that no one has heard from Madison and she has changed her number since she made the phone calls that I have shown you. He even says that he would like to know if Madison is okay. So this is him either being sarcastic or even he thinks that something could have happened to her. I'm sure the caravan being set on fire isn't related to Madison at all, but anything could happen at this stage. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe, and we will update you as we find out more.